There is a glassed office on the third floor, where the marketing team keeps its quiet hours. Brian has worked there for years, steady, careful, the kind of man who keeps his desk tidy and his promises. Ron sits 2 desks over, always smiling, always ready to help. To Brian, Ron is a friend. One Friday night, after months of preparation for a major client presentation, Brian leaves the office confident. The file is safe on the shared drive, his password protected. The next morning, the presentation is gone, corrupted, data missing. Panic spreads. The client postpones. The boss is furious. Brian searches logs, tries to recover files, but finds nothing, no trace. The account he manages shows signs of unauthorized access, but the audit trail is wiped. He feels sick, assuming he made a mistake. He apologizes and stays late, trying to fix it. Ron is the first to offer help, sitting with Brian and quietly suggesting, maybe you should have been more careful with the credentials. His tone is soft, his eyes are kind. A coworker mentions seeing someone near the server late that night. When Brian asks Ron about it, his face collapses into hurt. Brian, I can't believe you'd even think that, he says, tears welling. After everything I've done for you, you're accusing me. I'm devastated. The office watches. Ron's performance is flawless. He texts the boss privately, feigning worry for Brian. He speaks of loyalty and trust in meetings, making everyone feel guilty for whispering suspicion. Then, he corners Brian in the break room. If you say anything, you'll ruin both of us, he whispers. I've put my reputation on the line for you. If you throw me under the bus, I'll lose everything. Brian, exhausted and ashamed, apologizes again. He starts to believe he is the careless one. He withdraws from colleagues. Ron's subtle isolation works. Friends drift away because Brian seems fragile and unreliable. Ron becomes the boss's quiet confidant, volunteering for extra tasks and pointing out small concerns about Brian's attention to detail. The boss notices Ron's initiative and begins to trust him more. Then, the hacked account shows missing funds. An internal audit flags irregular transfers tied to the project Brian managed. The evidence is circumstantial but damning. Timestamps match Brian's login windows. The account is under his responsibility. Ron, with a calm face, suggests the company needs to be strict about accountability. He looks at Brian with sorrow and says, I'm so sorry this happened to you, colleagues whisper. Friends avoid eye contact. The boss calls Brian in and, without ceremony, terminates him pending investigation. The police are notified. The office that once felt like a second home becomes a courtroom of silent stares. Weeks later, the audit is complete. The findings are inconclusive, but the damage is done. The official record points to negligence on Brian's part. Ron is promoted to a role that requires integrity and discretion. Brian is left with no job, new reputation, and a label that sticks. Careless, maybe dishonest. Friends who once defended him now say, we didn't see it coming. The last shot is a quiet one. Brian standing outside the glass office, watching Ron through the window as he laughs with the boss. The camera pulls back. The hallway is empty. The buzzing light above the office hums like a secret. Be careful who you trust. Manipulation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it smiles, helps, and waits until the world believes the lie.